Hey everyone, this is your favorite radio host, your only radio host, and favorite girl, of course, Corinne Lafont, broadcasting to you from the lovely island of Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean on Between the Lines. And you know, I always start my show off being thankful. I woke up to a glorious morning. Oh my God, I'm telling you, the sky is just so awesome blue, perfect. I couldn't paint it myself. You know, the sun was just hitting my face. I just drank it all in, yeah, and the clouds were just so soft and puffy. I was like, I was like, wow, this is such a beautiful day. Not that it hasn't been beautiful on other days, but today was just like extra. Yeah, oh my God. And I'm thankful to be alive to witness and experience that and see that. And just, I'm just so thankful to be here. And I'm hoping that everyone else in the rest of the world who is listening, who is not listening and will be listening, will be as grateful or more grateful or thankful for everything that they have in their life, as well as everything that you don't have because it's not for you. Yeah? So I have with me a beautiful woman. She says she hasn't combed her hair. I mean, really, could you tell the difference? Could you tell the difference? If I didn't say, would you have known? No. Right? So I don't know what she's talking about. She looks perfect.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, she looks perfect. All the strands are where it's supposed to be. Yeah? So I don't know what she's talking about. So I have with me Allison. How do you pronounce your surname?
Sutter, like butter with an S.
Oh, nice. Soft and smooth. So Allison Sutter, like butter with an S. I didn't think that's cool. That's cool. So Allison Sutter, let me tell you what we're talking about today, people. Living the 360 experience. Isn't that an awesome topic? Some people not even living a 10-degree experience. Or even a 45. Okay, let's say a 90-degree, a right angle experience. This is a full 360, right around. What does that mean? Let me tell you a bit about Allison. Let me grab her bio here. She has a really cool bio. So Allison Sutter, she has a master's in education, is a best-selling author and contemporary spiritual teacher. She is highly acclaimed for her ability to seamlessly blend spirituality and practical self-help information, making it relevant to daily life. Allison's digital courses serve students in 77 countries so far. She lives with her husband and 3 girls in Chicago. So I guess they're at the house. We don't know. So if we hear any movement or anybody running down shouting, Mom, we know why. And that's how we run this show. That's how we run this show, people. Live and real. No makeup, no combing of hair, no, that type of thing. Just real. Just real. What you see is what you get. Yeah? It's real talk here. So welcome, Allison.
That's true.
Yeah, welcome, Allison, to Between the Lines.
Thank you.
Yes. Living the 360 experience. You told me off air that that's the name of your company. Tell me why you named your company Living the 360 Experience.
Well, honestly, originally, I didn't know. It was just a name that resonated with me. I think probably to a certain extent because, as physical beings, we come and we go. And there's definitely a cycle to, being born, living, going through all of these different changes, and then passing on physically. So honestly, I don't know. I just love the tone of it. But it did contribute to the program that I put together, that I wrote a book about, and that I use all the time to try to help me, myself, anybody else who wants to know about it, how to move beyond fear, anxiety, and all those kinds of emotions that stop us from doing something.
Yeah.
And to move into a place of being more satisfied, less stressed. I mean, I don't think we're ever going to not be, fearful about something or anxious, it's not about the elimination of those, because like a rainbow, you can't eliminate what's essential. You just, I think, just experience less intensity of it is a beneficial thing, right? I don't think we need to just try to scratch it from the canvas. It's not going anywhere. So.
For sure. And it's just a matter of, I think, managing, just to help you out there and to add to that, is really to manage it and how you react, and to be able the perception of it. So if you see it coming at you, or you feel it welling up in you, it's how you really accept it, you know, and allow it to move through you. Because once it comes up in you, it needs to come out. But it's how it comes out and what you learn. So the stress and the fear and the anxiety is there to teach you something. So if you come from the perspective of what is this trying to teach me, then you're able to deal with it in a different manner than, oh my God, I'm stressed out, I'm fearful, woe is me. You know, you don't take that approach. You know, if you take that calm spiritual sort of lesson, because everything is here to teach us a lesson, everything. And if we ask, what's the lesson I'm supposed to learn from this? It will be a much more calmer spiritual experience. And so that anxiety may not be as much or even there as you may anticipate or expect. You may end up dealing with the situation so calm that people look at you and say, how can you be so calm in such a situation? You know, people have said that to us. How can you be so calm? If it were me, I would be pulling my hair out. And and you know, this is just the different ways in which people will react to a situation based on where they are, how they think of themselves, and how they, it's more really a respond. You know, reaction is more like off the hip, you know, like those gunslingers off the hip, but it's really how you respond, which takes a more backward step and look at it in a more observatory type of way. So
which is difficult. I mean, and I even started to, because I went through, you know, years of trying to learn from others about the personal development and spiritual concepts and stuff. And I think for me personally, the idea of trying to find the lesson in it got frustrating because I couldn't see it. And sometimes even in hindsight, I couldn't see it. So my approach is a little bit different. I'll give you a perfect example. So my daughter's 14, had sort of similar to my cut, where it's sort of more one length and a little bit longer. And in our area, a lot of kids are getting shorter haircuts. And so she wanted to get a shorter haircut, but the way she deals with her fear, will people like me? Will daddy still love me? Will, you know, people find me attractive? You know, all the things that, you know, that are real, that we think about, not just as teen people, but also as we get older. Will I be accepted? Will I be loved? And she was having a very, very difficult, I mean, she probably was rolling this over for months, but the night before the haircut.
Just for a haircut.
Well, you know, everybody's different. So what maybe one person's haircut is another person's bank account or another person's relationship. So to say that it was not necessary is, you know, not giving her due. Like it's just a haircut to somebody else, but to her it was a big deal. Because she's 14, right? And telling her it's no big deal isn't going to help her, because to her it's a big deal. So anyway, so the point was, the night before, she was having a really hard time. And I said, here's one way to look at this. Let me describe to you my perspective on why you're in pain, why this is such a big deal to you. So you have and this it's taken from the 7 steps that I wrote about in my book. And one of them is you have a desire for something. And she's like, well, I try to not think about wanting stuff. I'm like, okay, how's that working for you? Because that's not real. Because everybody wants something, whether you admit it out loud or not. You have desires for things you want, material, immaterial, whatever. So she's got this desire for a shorter haircut. And what causes the inner emotional pain is the resistance to moving into alignment with that, whether that's an action or just instead of asking yourself, what if it doesn't look good, giving yourself the option of what if it does look good. So when you ask yourself, what if it doesn't, you're out of alignment. And when you say, what if it does, you're in alignment. And it's almost like the desire is cast into a river and the river is flowing. And the more that you're trying to go upriver, you're going against it. And your desire is getting bigger, and it's in your spiritual realm. It's happened. You know, it isn't even happening. It's happened. So there's this distance. There's this gap between where you are and what's actually manifesting in another way. So the pain gets more and more and more, and you think to yourself, well, I'll just ignore it. I'll pretend it's no big deal. And then you get more upset and angrier. And honestly, you can put any topic that means something to you in there, whether that is health, a relationship, your finances, your business, your haircut, your, whatever. It's the same thing. If you hold yourself back and you don't go in the direction of the river, which is the flow of your desire, you're gonna hurt. You're gonna hurt.
And
it's inevitable.
And we tend to do that to ourselves. This sort of self-torture.
Of course it is. Yeah. No one else is holding us back.
Yeah. No, but there's nothing holding us back. And you create these type of fears that manifest itself into real things to you, but there's nothing there to hold you back. There's nothing there. What are you scared about? There's nothing there.
No, it's just our beliefs and what we think.
And your mind, yeah.
Oh, I have another great story for that when you're ready for it. Let me know.
No, I'm ready. Bring it on.
Okay, so one of the other things, so I've got 7 steps in the book, and the first one is ask, the second one's desired, and analyzing that like we just talked about, and the third is belief, and really getting to know what you believe to be true. And there's a difference. As an educator, I can tell you there's a difference between what you think and what you feel, and what you feel is in alignment with what you believe to be true. You can't outthink your beliefs. So we've been dealing with something for a long time, and most intensely for the last 6 months, where my oldest daughter has had pain, real physical pain in her feet, and numbness in her feet, and some little bit up her legs. Like, this is not made up. There's pain. She can't walk. She has, she'll have a panic attack and turn white. And anyway, it's real. So we've been going to doctors, neurologists, PT, physical therapists. We had MRIs on her brain and her spine, which, to sort of make the story shorter than longer, all the things that we were doing to try to find out the source of the pain. And the last person we saw was a neurologist who specialized in pediatric work. So basically, he couldn't find anything physically, the cause of this pain. However, both of my children and myself and my husband, to a certain extent, suffer from anxiety. A lot of it. It's intense. It's real. And so the interesting thing was, I chose a physician he was an Indian gentleman. He studied in India. He had all the, credentials and stuff. He was clearly board certified and all of that stuff. But woven into that was a true belief and understanding about how the mind creates certain realities for us. So basically, he said, you need to convince yourself that you are as well as all of your scans are telling you. So until we find something else wrong, she's going to have to begin to deal with the beliefs that she has that are creating the anxiety, which probably are, if I don't do well on this test, I'll fail. If I don't get certain grades, I won't go to the college I want. If I don't do this, no one will like me. Name the fear. Name the true belief that's causing. Yeah.
Yeah, so, call him out. Face him. Put that mirror in front and call him out and say, "Who are you?
Yeah.
Why are you running me down? Why are you? What is it about you? Face it."
So it's not that our pain isn't real on a physical level. It's not that our conditions are made up. But we have to begin to come face to face with the understanding that we create our own reality.
You know what that reminds me of, Allison, as you speak? I remember years ago as a child, there were 2 instances. I don't know if you may remember, but a woman, if she feels she has this desire to have a child, she wants a child, her belly can start to grow as a result of, and feel a child moving in there, because her mind has convinced her, and
Yes.
she believes, and she can be pregnant. She can go through the birthing pains, wonder what has happened because there's no child in there physically, but her belly is growing and she's rubbing this belly. And your mind can create that. And this is why even diseases, I believe, is all mental. What you tell your body, your cells are actually listening to you. I remember just recently a friend sent me a post on WhatsApp, and it is such a powerful message. It said something like your cells are eavesdropping on what you're thinking.
They're following your command on a very real level.
Yeah. They are living things, and this is what people don't realize. We're walking around every day taking things for granted, not realizing that we are made up of millions and millions of cells that are really, it's just that our body is so moving at such a fast pace that it combines and looks the way it looks. But microscopically, it's living things that are hearing, very sensitive to what you're thinking.
Yeah, I mean, meet the same kid who sits in science class and they're doing a lesson on cancer in her junior high school class. And she says, like, they were studying ovarian cancer. And she says, I kid you not, my ovaries start to hurt when we're talking about this.
Yeah.
I'm like, absolutely. So the thing that I want listeners to know is that I know there's a physical reality there. There's nobody's negating that.
No.
However, you need to begin to bridge the gap between what you yourself believe and understand about beliefs and about their ability to create, experiences in your life. I mean, that's the biggest gap. Is a lot of people give lip service to the idea that beliefs create your reality, and they think it's intellectual. But honestly, I wanted to go more to the focus of emotions, because the vibrational beings that we are, the indications of what we believe to be true, really believe to be true, are first showing up on an emotional level.
Yeah.
And then it's the intellectual, which is a later stage manifestation of a vibration. So it's like, if you really want to go and get real with it, pay attention to how you feel. And that will be your first indication of what you believe to be true, not what you say. Oh, I believe the world's a great place. And then you're constantly riveted in fear. Well, you believe it's a dangerous place.
Yeah.
End of story. Okay, now deal with that.
Really, the mind is something else. It makes you see things that are not there, makes you feel things that are not there. You really have to take a step back. And breathe and question. Talk to yourself. A lot of people say to me, the main thing, don't answer yourself. I say, why not? I need to answer myself. That's not madness. I need to answer myself. I need to have that conversation. There's nothing maddening or crazy about answering yourself.
Talk to yourself.
Talk to myself. Yeah. Because my mind is literally talking to me. It's telling me certain things and trying to convince me otherwise. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. So why shouldn't I talk to myself?
I think the other important thing too, and I'll use this in reference to my oldest who had all the pain in her feet and stuff. So when I ask her, so what is it that's, do you think is causing this? Her answer is, I don't know. And what that says is there's a lack of awareness around what specifically, and a lot of times that occurs because every day she wakes up, she has a panic attack. So what's happening is her normal is panic attack. It becomes habitual in nature. You become accustomed to feeling that way. So you don't know what is below that. So you have to begin to scratch away at the habitual nature of feeling awful and begin to sort of weed through it. And you won't know how better feels until you get there. She won't know what it feels like not to wake up so freaked out about all the stuff she has to do until she does. But the way to get through it is to start to question your own dialogue. Like my one with the haircut. She goes, what if it looks bad? I'm like, what if it looks great? Let's just plug in one sentence.
What if it
looks great? What if things work out for me? Just one little switch. Start plugging that in.
Have a mind shift. Just shift.
Doesn't have to be major. It just has to be little tiny sentences that you plug in
Yeah.
to the existing dialogue,
Yeah.
so that you can begin to feel the difference between
Yeah.
whatever you're feeling and something better.
Yeah. Yeah. So what did she do? Did she do the haircut?
Oh yeah, it looks great. It's, you can see the like, it's like the tension is gone and all of those accumulated pile of worries has
And
dissipated.
that is it. That is
because
it. When you go
one of
through
my
that,
one of my steps is inspired action. So
yeah,
you have to move through into that action to sometimes release all of that tension. If she was second guessing the whole way there, I'm like, we're doing this because this is what you want and you have to move in the direction of it, regardless of what you think other people think of you, which is none of your business.
exactly.
What other people think of you is none of your business. Get your head out of their space.
It has nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you at all, and nothing to do with them, actually.
Yeah, I mean, just stay in your own space.
Stay in your lane. Stay in your damn lane. Just like when people run in a race, they are disqualified if they ever cross that line. So just disqualify them. Stay in your lane. Yeah, they stay in their lane. Everybody's happy at the end of the day.
Yes. So
Allison, give me 1 second. 1 second. I just need to check something. I heard a sound. Would you mind? 1 second. Mm-hmm. Back with you.
Okay.
Thank you for that. My mother is outside. She's 78. So I heard a sound. So anytime I hear a sound, I just run to check. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and it's amazing that after stressing yourself and working your whole body into that tension and stress, and you actually do it, you're like, really? Why was I working myself up about that?
Mm-hmm. Why? Because of our beliefs. Because of our, we have to start to have these straight talking kinds of conversations where we stop going, I don't know, and start going, well, what if it's this?
Yeah.
What if it's my strong beliefs?
And does she, I mean, given that you all have anxiety as an issue in the family, I mean, subsequent to that, I'm sure she would have had other things that may have arisen and brought anxiety. Does she look back at these past situations, the haircut, etc., and think, I've gotten over that. Why am I stressing over this one now?
No, because
still go through the anxiety again.
Yes, because self-awareness is slow to break through. Wow. Self-awareness, because here's what happens: is we've got 24 hours a day, which we're awake maybe 16, which we are self-aware maybe 2 to 3 when we're actually metacognition, thinking about our thinking kind of thing. So because of the nature of time, we have to be aware within the situation enough to make sense of it and change some of the habitual ways of thinking and feeling, which is just we just have to admit it's a slow process. It's just slow. So you have to wake up and go to bed and wake up and go to bed and have these experiences in the middle. But see, not every experience is going to be one of those in which jostles you awake, right? So it's a slow process, and I think we need to give ourselves a break and not look for so much to be earth shattering on a daily basis. I think we just need to sit back and go, look, I'm looking for micro movements and small changes, because it is the micro movements and small changes that add up to the big things. But I think, at least in personal development, it's my opinion, is we've gotten way out ahead of ourselves. And we're looking for these monumental changes. And of course, most people go, well, they never come. And you're missing all of the ways in which you get to the monumental, which is the small microscopic moments, like the haircut, like the panic about going to a holiday dinner, because you're going to see those relatives that you don't necessarily agree with. Yeah. Like when you put on your pants and they don't quite fit the same and you go, I hate myself.
Yeah.
I'll never get to where I want to be.
Wow.
When you're looking out the window and you're like, I don't like where I live. I'd rather live somewhere else. You're drinking your coffee. It's it's those small movements that we need to really begin to go, oh, wait. Can I look around? I mean, I had an issue with our washer broke recently. And this was a perfect experience to begin to come back to an appreciation of an older home that we live in. So, the washer was 15 years old. and it broke. And so we went to go buy a new one, but of course that was back ordered. So a month goes by and I'm going to a laundromat that's 25 miles away because it's a top loading washer and it's the only kind that doesn't carry all of the thick powdery laundry detergent that most people shove into the machines that are front loading anyway. So I did this because it makes us happier to have the laundry detergent smell that we want. But anyway, so I'm doing that every weekend. I'm taking 11 loads of laundry, right?
Wow.
11 loads. It's 5 people, sheets, towels, clothes. And I'm annoyed by it, right? I'm annoyed. But I take a deep breath. I go, I can do this. So the next weekend, I'm a little more annoyed. I'm like, it's fine. I can do this. So the next weekend, you see, I'm adding to the annoyance level, but I'm telling myself I'm okay. But I'm feeling more and more annoyed. And then finally, the company Lowe's calls us and they say, well, we can give you a washer because yours isn't still going to be there till December. It wasn't until the washer was in the house that I felt the sense of relief wash over me. And I thought, I was pretending I was okay with it. But every time I went to look at a dirty towel, I thought, oh.
Yes, it's annoyed you. Yeah.
Right. So the annoyance built and built, but it was slow enough that it wasn't shocking, right? It was like just a little bit each time. So I didn't notice it as much. But I didn't realize how big it had gotten until the washer came and I thought, I don't have to go anymore. Oh my God, I'm so relieved. I felt the relief. That's what I'm talking about, is the suffering is minute. And it's a little bit when we look in the fridge and we go, I don't have enough food. Or we, can't wash our clothes when we want to. And we just try to make it okay, but we don't honor the fact that we're just annoyed by it. It's not okay with us.
Yeah.
But it just becomes our normal.
Yeah.
Until something else isn't. And we go, oh, I get it. Now I need to pay attention because that's what it felt like not to be okay.
Yeah.
And I made it habitual.
I love that point when you said you didn't realize it was so stressful to you and annoying to you until the washer came and you're like, oh, thank God I don't have to do that again. And we all go through that. Oh my God, thank God that is over. We do that without even thinking, and that sort of awareness that it was actually bothering us.
Yeah. And a lot of people do it with money. A lot of people, every time they spend $1, they're just a slight bit more annoyed that they don't have what they want in the bank account, or they don't know where the next paycheck's coming from.
It's true.
And they let that become their normal instead of relaxing in the midst of the situation they're in, so that the greater thing that they're wanting can find its way to them.
That's right. I love that. Relax, and get in alignment so that the greater thing can come to you. Relax.
Yeah. You have to relax in the midst of the chaos, which takes practice. It's not going to happen after one listening to, your radio show. It's simply an idea that you need to dive deeper into over time.
So how did you get to this point after realizing that your family is has this issue with anxiety?
Oh, well, I've always known, but it's not a matter of not knowing. It's a matter of what are we going to do to try to make life a little better for each of us individually. And that's what drove me to write my book and create the 7 steps, is I'm like, this is ridiculous, because it's, for me personally, setting goals didn't work, because what happened is I would set a goal and then I wouldn't get to it, and I keep myself separate from it because I didn't believe it was actually going to happen. So I'm like, that doesn't work for me. I needed to blend the spiritual understanding with the physical reality, and then find a way to understand the subtle nuances of the psyche and the spiritual aspect of us that creates the physical aspect, and specifically deals with things like fear, doubt, and anxiety, because those are 3 major players in why we don't have a pleasurable, satisfactory experience in life.
Yeah. And society, media, and expectations from other people that we associate with also bring that sort of anxiety and stress, because when you talk about goals, everybody talks about goals. You go to school, you talk about goals. You're in a mastermind, it's goals. You're in a coaching program, it's goals. Yeah, and it's like, oh my God, I need to set these goals. And it just makes you feel stressed. And just like with you, it happened with me. I'm like, what the hell? Why do
Didn't work.
Yes. Why do I need to set goals? And you keep writing this to-do list, to-do list, to-do list. Keep adding goals and whatever. And it's like some of them you may accomplish, yes, but some of them you don't. And you focus more on the ones that you don't. And you're like, time is going. Look at how much time has gone. What have I accomplished? You know.
It's a carrot and a stick kind of thing, because you never understand the subtle nuances in the middle of that. And some people are like, just set a goal and do it. Well, they've mastered all of the invisible inner practices, probably, if it is honestly no big deal for them, if that's the truth, or if they're just telling us that because that's what they think we need to hear. I don't know. It depends on the person. But my love and my passion is blending what I know about cognitive aspects with now what I am understand. I'm not a master of anything. I'm just understanding it. And because I teach, I was educated in lower elementary, and I currently work with preschoolers. But I think one of my best aspects is being able to explain what people typify as more complicated things like spiritual understanding or, metacognition or something, but bring it down to a kindergarten level and just be able to say, this is where it's happening in your current life, like with the haircut, like with the pain in the feet, like with the washer, and being able to take those concepts that are sort of woo-woo and hard to bring into the physical and bringing them down so that you can feel. My goal is just to have people feel better a little bit every day, because that is the ticket to moving toward the experience. If you want to call it a goal or whatever, that's the ticket to get you there. I know, because 99% is the
I love how you said
journey there.
I love how you said from the goal to the experience. That resonates with me. So instead of using goal, you can say to get you to the experience. I think it's a better way of framing it, and I think it just like the mind shift, with your daughter's hair. What if it looks great? So that was a lovely mind shift for me there. Instead of saying goals, you can say, what's the experience you want to get? And the word experience brings with it a sort of joy, a sort of, wow, I would love to do this. I would love to do this. I would love to do. I love that. And today I'm going to be switching, having a mind shift with that from now on. So it's not about.
It takes it out of the head and into the heart, because when you say goal, it's a head thing. When you say experience, it's a heart thing. How do I want to feel? What do I want my environment to feel like?
Yes, I love that. I love that. I want to switch across to your book. Let me grab a page here. Tell me your website, Allison.
It's www.living, LIVING 360coaching.com.
Okay, give me a second. It's coming up. Yes, okay.
I can't remember what state I left that website in, because that's just it's a placeholder website for another website, which is called Kajabi, where I house my
it's
courses and stuff.
Are you seeing that there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to shift you out. Yeah. So I can see the menu and everything here. Yes. So you have stepping stones to hop across. Stepping stones. All right. So I wanna come to the free gift here, because I know persons will be looking for something to grab. And you see you have an awesome free ebook and accompanying online class.
Yes.
Accelerate Your Mojo, so persons can grab that. How can they? Let me see. Where they just click on the link.
The link takes them to a video which I explain what it is. But I think, as an educator, that pamphlets aren't enough. Booklets aren't enough, because the booklets are a dime a dozen. People can submit their email for a booklet every day and never do anything with it.
Of course.
And in my online classes, there's only about 33% of people that actually finish the class.
Yeah.
However, you can improve your possibility by connecting with the instructor via video. So the free class is a video class, which corresponds to some print material, which hopefully gets them to begin this conversation in their head, in their life, in their heart, Because first and foremost, I'm an educator. I think rich context and rich material.
That's right.
Lead to students having more success.
Are these your daughters?
No, that's just a stock photo.
Oh, okay. I love the face painting and just having fun.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so let me come back here. You have some classes?
I do. So I started doing curriculum development and posted it on a site called Udemy. So there's a ton of classes on, well, not a ton, but there's 5 classes now on a site called Udemy, which have tons of students and rankings and reviews, and you can preview classes and stuff. And then the core class, which goes along with the book, is actually on a separate platform called Kajabi, and there's a link to it there next to the information about the book, which is specifically about the 7 steps and the teachings in the book. It's separate because I started with my playing around with curriculum development and doing different topic ideas before I wrote the book. It's just how I my trajectory was doing that. So
it's a lovely cover.
Thank you.
Yes, beautiful. Yes. Very nice. Very nice. And these are some past pictures. What's going on with
those are, because in the book I talk about a couple of things. I talk about, so my mom is the picture, or clearly an early photo of my mom. She died when I was 20 of pancreatic cancer. Okay. And I was there when she passed, and I saw in my mind's eye, I felt what energy looked like out of physical form, which I didn't do anything with because I was in my 20s, and I talk about my upbringing in the book, but I had a very rocky upbringing due to my sister. But I took that experience, piled it away, and then did something with it later on in life. And so that's my mom with me in a fishing boat. And then the cork is because I use the analogy of a cork, and everyone can get a piece of cork wood, which naturally floats, which is the equivalent of our spiritual being, of our goodness is our natural state of being. And the only way cork stays under the water is if you hold it.
Yes.
And so like I talk about with the haircut experience, holding yourself back with what if it doesn't work out is the equivalent of holding the cork under the water. If you let it go, you don't need to do anything, right? Because we're all about doing things. It will naturally rise to the top, and so will we.
That's right. And Abraham Hicks talks about that cork floating at the top of the water. I don't know if she's like, just leave the cork. It's supposed to, float at the top. Your cork. Don't try to yank it, and you're creating resistance. And what we're supposed to be doing in this life is stop resisting. Stop resisting. Don't force. Like I said to someone yesterday, don't force. So if people are coming into your life and you want them to be this particular way, or they want you to be a particular way, that's forcing. Don't force somebody to be what they are not. Yeah. If they are not, then they're not supposed to be connected to you or be in your life. So don't force. Let them go. Let them go. And when something is coming at you, or creative juices are flowing, or thoughts and things to really get you going, in a positive, and you feel you feel excited about it, don't resist. Just go with it. So don't resist and don't force. Just be that cork floating at the top of the water. Yeah.
And that takes a lot of practice too. I mean, the thing is, the expectation should be slow, slow, slow. The expectation should not be overnight success. It should be slow cooker.
Slow. Be the turtle.
Yes.
Don't sit here. Be the turtle. Yes. Because he took his little old time. He wasn't in a hurry at all. And when you hear that story, as a child, you're like, Christ, what happened to that turtle?
Did he ever make it?
Right? Did he ever make it? He was just so darn slow. What is wrong with that turtle? God, I don't ever want to be the turtle. I want to be the hare, because he's fast, he's speedy, he's, he even had the time to sit down and relax, watch a movie, had a drink, all sorts of things. I want to be But as we get older and a little bit wiser, we enter into this spiritual truth, and we recognize, look here, the fast thing ain't kicking it,
Yes.
Slow,
for sure.
slow. And I am someone who loves to move fast. I could tell you, I love to move fast. And I mean, in coming back to Trinidad to live, because I wasn't living, I was living in Jamaica for 21 years. It is fast. It is fast, and you have to be fast. You just the society is one where you just have to keep up. Everything is fast. And then coming back, I am dealing with just being slow. And I'm like, okay, universe, what is the lesson you want me to learn from this? You just want me to slow down. Okay, I'll just
Yes.
I am just gonna slow down. Whatever it is, I'm just gonna slow down.
And fast isn't bad.
No.
It's all relative, right? If fast works for you and it doesn't cause you any discomfort, roll with it. But the thing is, honestly, I think it's causing a lot of people discomfort. My kids were saying that like, I don't know where they read this poll or who was in the poll, but it was something like either 45 or 60% of kids, teenagers nowadays, don't know the purpose of life.
Yeah.
They're not happy.
No.
They're not happy.
People are not happy. A lot of people are not happy, and a lot of people don't know joy.
Yes.
Joy.
Slow will be more joyful than trying to be fast and keep up with a pace instead of the enjoyment of the unfolding of the experience. They're different.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking as we talk about that, you're just running through, you're running a race. My intention is not to win the damn race. I want to take my time, call out to you on the road. Hey, Allison, take my time, drink a little water, stop, sit down and talk. I want to be like the turtle.
So here's what someone can do. If they're listening to this and they're like, oh, that sounds better. That makes me feel better to think about that. And then they wake up and they find that they're running and going too fast. They can understand that there's going to be a discomfort in that because they want something that's different than they have. So they have to begin to move through the ways in which they can become more in alignment and buck the current of what they think they should be doing, because they're probably doing it because it's what they think they should be doing. To hang with the rest of the crowd. So you're gonna have to be a little different, and sometimes that can be painful. When you're the different one, you're like, oh, I'm different from everybody else.
It's not sometimes, it is always painful, but as we said earlier, it's a matter of how you respond versus to react. And nothing wrong with being fast, because there are times I move fast, and then there's nothing wrong with being slow. So the main thing, like we say, just let the cork float on the water. If the cork say move fast today, go with it. If the cork say we're going to move slow today, go with it. If the cork say I don't want to do nothing today, go with it.
When I was writing my book, it was a fast, quote unquote, fast process because I was in alignment with it. And I was accepting of the ideas that were coming. And so I wrote it. It didn't take too terribly long. It was like, I don't know, it might've been a year, maybe a little less than that. But then I stopped, and right now I'm in a slow period with my classes and stuff, and I've gone back to work, and I'm sort of putting that a little bit on a slower burner. Oh, well.
Nothing is wrong with that. Oh, well. Oh, well. And life goes on. Another day comes by, and life goes on. And soon another year is coming by, and life goes on. Thank you so much, Allison. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For sharing your wisdom. I'm sure there are a number of families that are struggling with the same issues as you, whether it's families or whether it's individual or somebody that that you're interacting with that is making you anxious because of the anxiety too. Now you have some ways of coping, and you can grab a copy of Allison's books to help with that. And of course, reach out for her free gift, check out her website, and connect with her.
Yes, absolutely.
To see what she can do to help you. So Allison, any final words before we go?
Slow, slow, slow.
I think that's it. Slow, slow, slow. Thank you so much, Allison.
You're welcome.
Between the lines.